So the Tigers win. Twins don't. Tigers 2.5 games back. Clutch hit from Javi Baez in the 10th, clearing the bases. Bullpen continues to amaze. Second place. So, Gator, before the break, I said, look, there's something I want to develop a little bit more with this team and whether or not they actually are legitimate. And you didn't want to steal the thunder. I said, go steal away. And you said it's the American League East part of the schedule. 2-14 against the American League East, which makes the Tigers 18-10 against everybody else. As we further develop this thought, and the question is, was that what I was going to bring up? The answer is yes. I'm not mad at you.
Sorry.
It's okay. CBS Sports had a story over the weekend about baseball's format and the disparity basically between the American League East and the American League Central. The AL East, going into the weekend, had 5 teams that would probably win the American League Central.
They're all above 500 right now. So
all 5 teams, when you take away their games against each other, their record is 99-49. We are in the early portion of the schedule, and the American League East is 50 games over 500 against everybody else.
Is that good?
Those 5 teams are collectively playing on a pace where they would win 108 games outside the division. Okay? So the Tigers go 2-14 against that group. They only have 3 more games against the American League East before the All-Star break, and 13 total the rest of the way. By far the fewest in the American League Central. So there are trends in seasons that, they feel real and they aren't because it's such a long season. But it sets up nicely for basically the Twins to come back towards the Tigers more so than the Tigers to move up, although they could. I mean, that 18-10 mark against everybody else, I almost feel like we got to wait for 40 games against everybody else like you wait with 40 games of the whole season.
There's disparities everywhere, though, right? I mean, against the East, the Tigers are 2-14, but against the National League, the Tigers are 11-5.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at other teams, and do they have the same kind of disparity? The Twins are 5-5 against the American League East, but they're 7-9 against the National League. So the Tigers have done better against the National League than the Twins have, but the Twins have fared much better than the Tigers have when it comes to the American League East. And then you just look at what the American League East has done in total against the Central. I mean, it's 9-1, 10-3, 7-6 is the worst record they have, and that's the Yankees. Boston 7-2, then Toronto is 8-2. I mean, these teams have just destroyed it. So here we are. We're starting to get to some part of the schedule against the Central. Tigers have to take advantage of it if they can. I mean, the truth is, none of us really know who the best team in the Central is. I think we think it's Minnesota, but we don't know. I mean, Chicago has all this talent, yet they're never able to do anything with it. Cleveland's always been a very fundamentally sound baseball team, and they have a superstar in Jose Ramirez, and they can get the job done, but they're kind of hanging around like the Tigers are, and the Tigers are just, I think they're overachieving. And this is a credit to A.J. Hinch. It's funny because a month into the season, people wanted Hinch gone, and now it's like, okay, hang on, calm down. And Kansas City is a bottom feeder, and they always have been, except every 5 years it seems like they've, they build that talent up enough, and they can compete a little bit, and then they got to trade the guys away. This is not one of those years for Kansas City, as they're 14-35. They're already 21 games below 500. So Tigers have to take advantage of this series. You got 2 more against Kansas City. Do what you can. But how good are the Tigers? Are they better than Chicago? Are they better than Cleveland? Right now they are. And right now they're not as good as Minnesota based on record. But all in all, I think it is a 4-horse race, I think, for this division.
Yeah, I mean, they got to clear a hurdle. And if the hurdle's not a high hurdle, that's okay. The race they're running is not a high hurdle race. It's a low hurdle race. So try and win that race. By the way, they're 19-10, not 18-10 against everybody else after last night's win. So, perspective is important, but I think Detroit's got this thing under perspective. By Detroit, I mean the fan base. there's tepid is probably too. Is there tepid interest? Is there developing interest? Is there growing interest? I don't know quite how to characterize the feelings I have that I think this town has towards their baseball team.